Now, the app TikTok has sealed a deal to create a new American organisation separate from its China-based operations.
Yes, the deal hands over the company's American division to investors backed by Donald Trump. So let's find out more. Molly's here to give us the details. And Donald Trump wasn't happy about the idea of TikTok running in the US, given its Chinese ownership, was he? So what is this solution that's been hatched?
Essentially, it's to appease him, I think, in a sense. It's to appease Donald Trump and various, actually, governments that have been worried about that for a few years. It's essentially a deal that's been struck to avoid TikTok being banned in America. We saw, didn't we, at the beginning of last year, it went completely dark for 14 hours, which is a long time in social media land, isn't it? But for years, though, it's been hanging over some 150 million users in America. Various governments, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, have expressed concerns about national security, with fears that, as you say, the Chinese-owned platform could share user data with the Chinese government. The Chinese authorities could then, in turn, influence, perhaps manipulate what users see in terms of their interface and the algorithm, the content that the algorithm feeds them. Claims, of course, which have been denied by TikTok over the years. So now we've got this deal to give basically US investors more control over the American version of TikTok. So what they've done is they sold the majority stake, about 80% of the platform in America, to US investors, including Oracle, the US software giant, which is co-founded by a man called Larry Ellison, a big Trump supporter. ByteDance, which is TikTok's parent company, will still own about a 20% share in the US operations. Look, there are still lots of unknowns about what will change kind of in practice. TikTok overnight said in a statement that US user data will now be operated and stored inside the US cloud environment. So that's quite a big deal. It means that Chinese engineers perhaps won't have that control. And also they said that it will retrain and update the content algorithm based on US data. So that could mean that actually what we see over here on TikTok could look quite different to what US users see in terms of the content and the algorithm and what they're fed. So how happy they'll be about it in the long term, well, we'll wait and see. But for now, Donald Trump will tout this as a big win, and certainly it's a sign that Washington and Beijing can perhaps agree on quite a contentious issue.
Yeah, Molly, thank you. That's really interesting. And also really interesting, given that lots of countries are concerned about the security implications, whether they'll push for sort of similar deals in their own countries. Who knows?
Potentially.
Yeah.
Adam, thank you. Thank you, Molly.